This is a response to a video about relationship gone wrong. And it is very early in the morning. It's like it's not quite 7 o'clock where I am. And I usually don't even open my laptop early in the morning. But this morning I had some quiet time and here at home, and decided to open my laptop, and I found this video, and it was very sad. It was sad because it's too common of a story amongst women, not just black women, but just women in general. And all too often we blame the male. It was the man, and the man said this, and the man did that, and the man promised this, and the man promised that. You know what? And there are some dogs out there. Believe that. I understand. There are some dogs. There are some men that have malevolent intents. There are some men that are they just thrive off of the jokes and the games and what they can get out of women. Unfortunately, I feel like I have a couple in my family, and have had to address that issue. But there are going to be men and women that are going to just try to suck the life out of you. And you know what? You can't change them. You can't change them. I am a firm believer that if there is something in my power that I can control about me or around me, I'm going to try my darndest to do it. And the one thing that I can control in a relationship is me. I can protect me. I can judge for myself what needs to be in my life and what needs not be in my life. Now, a lot of people on YouTube are not going to like this. However, if you don't know what true love, true unconditional love really is when you see it and when you feel it, you need not really be trying to seek out a relationship to try to band-aid whatever hurt or pain or hole is in your heart. You are damned to fail. You're just damned to fail. I am the baby of 7. I have a lot of sisters, and I've watched them throughout the years go from relationship to relationship to relationship to relationship. They have all been single parents at some point in their lives. They have all been mentally, physically, or emotionally abused. All of them. I don't have children, but I helped really rear theirs, because there were times where they had to get themselves together, and you know what? The kids ended up with me and my mom's house. I can't control a man. They found out the hard way they couldn't control a man. Unfortunately, you can't control what comes out of their mouth either. But you know what? You have enough in you. You have enough God in you to be able to discern the words that come out of their mouths, and if there are actions that go along with it. You have enough God in you to understand and know what unconditional love is if you seek it out. You have enough God in you to understand the aches, the pains, the holes in your heart that you keep trying to band-aid up with wrong relationships. I'm a firm believer of it. I'm a witness to it. No man can heal any type of pain or hole in your heart from emotional abuse in the past, or physical abuse in the past, or spiritual abuse in the past. No man can do that. So you know what? Don't even ask them to. Because they'll fail. Because they're not perfect. And one of the things that I always go back to is how a person was reared. What was your first experience with the first man in your life, young lady? What was your first experience with that father? Was it the lack of a father? Because sometimes we draw into our relationships that very same experience that we had with the very first man in our life. Now, to be a perfect picture We would have all had that wonderful father figure in our lives as a young baby girl. That person that held us, hugged us, loved us, encouraged us, exhorted us unconditionally. That's where we got our first rose from, our first ring from, our first bouquet of flowers, our first date. We all would like to tell that story, but most of us can't, myself included. Can't do it. But what I realized as I became more and more mature is that I began to treat the men that I thought that I was attracted to the same way that I would treat my father in the relationship that we had, which was very distant. I like you, you're cool, but keep your distance. Think about it. Who was the first man in your life, and how did that man treat you? If you were reared by a single mother, you don't know who your father is, maybe that's the reason why you treat men in relationships as you do. I don't know what shape, form, fashion that takes. But I do know that inevitably, that's the way we respond to men. And because I knew at a very young age, oh yeah, I have daddy issues. You know what? I went to counseling. I ain't ashamed of it. I'm a better woman for it. I have been married now almost 10 years to a wonderful man. And what I did was I trusted God to heal me. I trusted my family to discern the intents of his heart. I had him go through everybody. My family, my friends, everybody who loved me, I introduced him to. If there was one person that said, well, I don't know, dude, something's kind of weird, I was going to stop. Brakes. Because I'm not going to ignore red flags. My life is too precious to ignore red flags. And so I wish women would do the same thing. But what I've seen my girlfriends do, and some of my sisters do, is hide the relationship. They want it all to themselves. They know something's wrong with it. Something's quirky about the dude. Something that they know that their family and their friends probably wouldn't accept about him. But it's okay because, you know what? I love him and he loves me and he's taking care of me and he's doing this for me and he's doing that for me. Sometimes it takes somebody outside of your situation to really shine a light on certain spots in your relationship that you really are in denial about. But you got to be woman enough to hear the truth. And sometimes we're not woman enough to hear the truth because the little girl in us wants to be healed from the pain or the hole or the fracture in our heart. So this story just really saddens me. It saddens me. It really saddens me. I mean, I want to take the person and just hold them and hug them and cry with them. But I really pray that women just would learn to love themselves. Just learn to love yourself unconditionally. Learn about the God in you and what all that means and what all he provides for you, so that you won't look to other things and other people to heal something in your heart that only he can heal. I think this is the end of part 1 because I know I'm not finished yet.